speaking of technology, so we were talking of those big tech companies, right? One of the big news that was mentioned recently was Amazon's CEO, which is Jeff Bezos, is stepping down later this year. Now, it may not be the reason that you're thinking. It's not because he's doing a terrible job. He's actually doing a great job, with how well they're doing based from 2020. Now, the reason he's stepping down is more so that he can focus more on other aspects of his company, not just on the Amazon, the e-commerce platform here. So let's take a closer look. There you go. So as mentioned, the goal here why Jeff Bezos is stepping down is so that he can transition to an executive role as chairman of the board in Amazon. So he'll be relinquishing his role to the company's top cloud executive, which is Andy Jassy. I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly. Anyway, so what's interesting here, they kept this succession process quiet. There were speculation that there were two persons were being considered. So the first was Mr. Jassy, as mentioned. And then there's Jeff Wilk, who is the CEO of Amazon's worldwide consumer business. But last year, Mr. Wilk retired on 2021. So obviously, which left Mr. Andy Jassy as the lone viable person for the position. So just to give you into context, so Mr. Jassy here, or Sir Andy, joined the company way back in 1997 as the leading Amazon Web Services, cloud services, since the inception of AWS. So obviously, what's interesting here, you would be surprised that, for Amazon's popularity, one would think that the e-commerce platform is generating them millions of billions of dollars, which is true. But it's not their main moneymaker here. It's already their cloud services here, Amazon's Web Services, as mentioned here. And obviously, for the company to progress, in this case, for Jeff Bezos to relinquish the day-to-day operations in Amazon, the company, or Amazon, the e-commerce platform here, so that, the goal of Jeff Bezos is to focus on other endeavors, right? Like competing with Elon Musk in the race for conquering outer space with SpaceX and so forth. Anyway, what's interesting here is, as mentioned, according to the report, the company posted $100 billion of earnings in the quarter, and that's a 28% growth revenue for the fourth quarter, considering there was a pandemic that was happening, right? And what's interesting is that 52% of their operating income was attributed to the Amazon Web Service I mentioned earlier back last year. So obviously, they want to capitalize more on their other services, in this case AWS, so that Jeff Bezos would focus more on other aspects. And obviously, one of the main threats or issues that Mr. Sir Andy is going to deal with is the antitrust issue that has been, roaming around since last year. Obviously, it's not just Amazon we're talking about. We're talking of Apple, Facebook, and Google here in terms of their monopoly power in the marketplace, as well as they're also facing antitrust issue in the EU as well here. Anyway, so as mentioned, so Jeff Bezos' primary role will still be, managing the direction of the Amazon company as a whole, but he will be can now focus his attention on other projects as well. He can focus more on the Bezos Earth Fund as well as the Blue Origin spaceship to compete with SpaceX, as mentioned. And obviously, he's excited of the transition, choosing the right person, and being able to focus on other aspects in the businesses here. And obviously, being CEO, as mentioned, is a deep responsibility, which is true, and it's time consuming. Obviously, you have different aspects within the large company that Amazon is, and you have a responsibility, and it's hard to put any attention on anything else, which is right. That's why you hire someone. In this case, you get someone else to manage the business for you, since it's already doing so well here. Anyway, good luck to them.